Hey YouTube, it's a beautiful day in Scotland here. I'm busy sorting out the parcels for delivery today. I'm going to get these to the parcel shop and then I'm going to get on with some listing. So I've got my Hermes parcels here. These are the boxes I use. These are the ones I get from eBay using my shop subscription. I buy them in packs of 100, which come in a massive box. And these are really good for small items, and they go Hermes small packet. So I've got all of them, and also there's another load in that box, in that bag. And then I've got all my Royal Mail second class large letters in that bag. And just along here I've got all these larger parcels here. These will be going in the lockers, which I'll show you later, and these are going Hermes, these two big ones. So that's the car loaded up with the parcels. As you can see, a pretty loaded car today with parcels. I'm going to the Hermes shop, I'm going to the lockers, and I'll have a chat with you as I go along. So yeah, I'm on the way to the parcel shop now. Got all these parcels, Hermes parcels to post, and I've got some for the lockers as well. I'm going to drop them off at the Hermes shop, as I always do. I generally go there every other day. I run a 2-day dispatch on my eBay store. So yeah, I'm just thought that I'd catch up with everybody and do a little video, a drive along video. I used to do these quite regularly, but I stopped doing them, and I think they're quite good because it gives me a chance to have a chat, say how things are going, and think about some ideas I've got for my eBay business out loud and get some feedback on it, without actually taking too much time out my actual day, because I'm just driving along anyway. So yeah, so I've got some thoughts. The first thought is inventory in your eBay store. I've got a wide variety of items in my store. So I've got things like typewriters, I've got things like t-shirts, I've got things like games, computer games, board games, all that sort of stuff. Completely random stuff. Like the other day I bought a vintage flask and I sold it to a theatre company in London. And then on the other flip side of that, I sold a cap that was made in Scotland, and I sold that to someone down south. So these are all different items that keep my store busy, and it keeps the customers coming in. I've noticed a lot of talk about Summer Slowdown, which I haven't really seen at the moment, and I think that's really down to the vast quantity of items I've got and the type of items I've got. So my advice would be to really diversify. Make sure you get lots of stuff in your store. Don't just niche down to a particular type of item. I think it's quite important, especially if you're full-time. If you're part-time, then fine, it brings in a little bit of extra cash for a holiday or something like that. But if you're full-time and you're paying your mortgage and you're paying your bills, you really need to have so much in your store and so much variety that there's always going to be something and somebody buying the item. So that's the first thing, and that brings me on to the second thing I was going to talk about. I'll have to tell you about it in a minute because I've just arrived. So I'm just going to empty these parcels out now, get these done. I'll speak to you in a minute. That's all the parcels dropped off now, so I'm on my way back to home to get some listings done. So my second point of what I wanted to discuss today was good till cancelled. So as you know, eBay have changed it, so all the items on eBay now, if they're buy it now, are good till cancelled. Before they were 30 days or 10 days. And every cycle you would relist the item, maybe tweak it, change the description, change the photos. Well, now eBay doesn't really give you the option to do that. It just relists it automatically for you at the end of the monthly cycle, and it just continues on basically until you cancel it. Hence the name good till cancelled. Well, I've noticed that a few items are going quite stale in my store. It's been a few months since they started good till cancelled, so some of the items are quite old now, probably on their third cycle, and they're just not selling and getting no interest, although there's a lot of watchers on them, but they're not buying them. And that's because people add things to their watch list, and then they go ahead and buy whatever they wanted from someone else, but they're still watching your item, and they continue to watch your item. So when you send offers to watchers, it's probably unlikely that they're even interested in buying it anymore. So there's that angle of it too. So my plan going forward, and what I've been doing, is to end the listings and use sell similar after tweaking it to relist the item for the next cycle. So how I've been approaching it is every morning when I log onto my computer, I have a look and try and see which ones are going to be ending soon in the next few hours. And it's quite easy to do because you go to your active listings in your seller hub, click to sort by ending soonest, and that will give you all the items that are going to end quite soon. So, and eBay put them in a red font so you can easily highlight them. So once you've identified those, you then want to think, well, if they're coming up to the end of a cycle, they might get a boost. Now, I don't know whether they still do or not. They used to when they were going to really end. But if they're good till cancelled, I'm not sure if they actually get a boost anymore. If anybody does know or thinks they've got some sort of information on that, please drop a comment in this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow them to get to the point where they're a few hours before they end. So maybe like 2 or 3 hours before they end. Then I will manually end them. So you just highlight the ones you want to do, and then go to your end listings, click end listings, and they'll then appear in your unsold listings. So then what you do, you then go into the unsold listings, and then you've got a choice. You could either just highlight them all and sell similar, or relist if that's what you prefer. I prefer sell similar because then I think it's a brand new thing. But you can choose to relist if you want, and then they're back on as a fresh item with a new item number for the next 30 days, or until you repeat the process. The one thing that I have actually been doing in addition to all of that is to modify the item, because it's been on there for 30 days and it hasn't sold. So that means a few things. It means it might be overpriced, it may have not a good description, it just might have a bad title, the keywords might not be very good. So I go in there and I modify what I think I can, and then I click sell similar. But what I've been doing, and I think it's quite useful, is to, instead of making this item go live instantly, because I work weekdays on eBay, I list every day, or at least I try to every day, Monday to Friday, but on Saturdays and Sundays I generally don't list. I'm sourcing usually on those days, or just having a day off. So what I do, instead of just setting those items to go live, I schedule them for the weekend. And this also works if you're going to go on holiday or going to be away for a few days. You can schedule them for those days as well. Just so you've got maybe 5 or 6 items getting listed on eBay every single day, even though you're not physically there listing them on a Saturday and Sunday. There will be items going live, and I think that really helps with the eBay algorithms, and it keeps your store active. And it uses your, I think with a shop subscription you get so many free scheduled listing slots, so it allows you to use them as well and take advantage of that facility. So that's what I've been doing, and although I've only been doing it a short while, I've seen a little bit of a uptake in sales. I've sold some of those items that have previously just been sitting there. Now, whether they've been because I've tweaked the item and I've adjusted the price, maybe. If I hadn't gone into the item and maintained the item and adjusted the description or the title or the photos, then it probably wouldn't have listed. It probably would have just sat back on there for another 30 days. It might not have done, it might have sold. You don't know, but all you can do is do your best. And I think that's the way I'm going to deal with things going forward. It seems to work quite well. I'm going to do a separate video on that, and I'm going to actually show the full process, but that's how roughly I'm doing it, and it seems to be having good results. So give that a try if you want. So yeah, I'm coming to the end of my journey now, almost back home, so I'm just going to sign off now, but I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, and I'm hoping to get more videos out now quite regularly, at least a couple a week. I do my haul from the hall on a Monday. I'm going to try and do these sort of rambling videos as well. I'll just put out my thoughts and ideas. Let me know if you want to see more of that. Let me know if you like the video, what you think of what I've discussed today, if it's a good idea, if it's a bad idea, if you do it in a different way, if you already do it, let me know. Let me know the results you've had. So I'm going to sign off now, I'm almost home, so you've seen the rest, now subscribe to the best. Tap Peddler. Bye for now.